today's topic while I'm out in nature sunbathing and giving the nature wisdoms. The topic is, what happens when you stop running from yourself? Okay, like when you stop putting everything out, when you stop constantly trying to be on social media, trying to be around friends, trying to find somewhere to go, trying to find something to do, trying to find something to watch on TV, constantly keeping yourself from truly connecting with you. What happens when you stop running from yourself? I'm gonna tell you what happened to me when I totally and completely still and quiet and in hermit mode. I really was able to reflect deeply on not only just traumas that I needed to heal and deep wounds that I needed to heal, but also ways that I had been avoiding to myself. Because I asked myself this one question. I said, why do I keep attracting people or men that are cold, calculative, and avoidance, in their emotions? And one of the reasons why I kept attracting men that are avoidance and narcissists is because I was avoiding me. I was avoiding myself. And anytime you avoid yourself, you're gonna be reflected back in a mirror all of the ways that you're being cold, calculative, and avoidant to yourself. And when you stop running, you're able to see that. Now, I work with a lot of people, in recovery, addict recovery from self-harm. And when I say self-harm, a lot of women and men with autoimmune disorders and disease disorders, because I am a nutritional scientist and a functional medicine practitioner that reads the blood, do blood lab interpretations, and really get to the root cause of diseases and disorders. And so I'm filming a lot of these videos in nature and going back to my own self-reflection, because I too had 6 autoimmune disorders that I had to eradicate. And every time I would eradicate and start getting better, I would say to myself, why am I going backwards? Why am I not getting all the way well? I'm eating the foods, I'm doing the journaling, I'm doing the prayers, I'm doing the meditations, but I still was not truly connecting with myself on all levels and putting myself first. Okay, so when you're not putting yourself first, and I don't mean being like this nasty, selfish person. When I say putting yourself first, meaning when you wake up, the first thing you do is it to think about you and your spiritual self, your emotional well-being, your physical well-being, your mental well-being? Or do you start thinking about what you got to do for somebody else, what you got to do for the job, for the business, for the family? If you're not focused on yourself, then you cannot expect anyone to be focused on you. I have worked with clients, okay, that are addicted to literally trying to see how they can help somebody else, and they're not even well. Okay, and I was that addict. And the reason why I'm able to spot it, identify it, and help my clients heal through that is because I was able to spot that within myself and had to heal through that myself. I was constantly trying to show up and show how great I am and how amazing I am and how attentive I am and how great of a cook I am and how great of a mother I am and a great of businesswoman and how many millions of things I could do and create and spin everything out. But listen here, it doesn't matter how great of everything you are. You have to be great at loving you. And when you slow down and when you stop running from you and stop trying to find ways to be disconnected from yourself, you will realize how much you really not loving you. I am a part of a lot of different little networking groups. And in these networking groups, I sit back and I listen and I watch and I connect with people. And almost every person I connect with, when I really get to know them outside of the networking, almost all of them got some type of disease or disorder. And they're got on masks, acting like they are so well and so good. And some of them even lie and act like they have eradicated their illness. But that's not true, because then they would have the blood work proof that that's out of their system, because they want to keep the mask on that they're so great and so good, because they're still running from themselves and they're still putting business over themselves. They're still putting, what they're trying to do for somebody else or how much money they're going to make, instead of slowing down and saying, you know what? If you slow down and you start running from yourself and you really take care of yourself, I'm talking about truly, deeply take care of yourself, You cannot be afraid to take care of you. If you truly, truly taking care of you, then you do not have to worry about money, finances, how things are going to get done, how things are going to get paid. You don't have to worry about that anymore. I'm a living testament of that. You don't have to worry about what's already done. Only thing you got to do is have reverence for your temple. Have reverence for your life. Have reverence for yourself. Have reverence for nature. I'm going to tell you, we cannot be around here complaining about how these people or certain people, organizations, or entities are tearing up the planet, destroying the planet, putting toxins and poisons everywhere, spraying them on our food and in the airs and the chemicals in the air, on our food. It's everywhere when we're not willing to slow down and stop being toxic to ourselves. And we're not willing to be toxic to ourselves, and you don't have no complaining rights about the toxicity that is happening on this planet. When you take that time and you stop running from you and stop trying to find ways to be outside of you, then you will add to the upliftment and the healing of the planet by adding to the healing of yourself. You got to realize that everything and everyone is a mirror. Everything and everyone is a mirror. Everything and everyone is a mirror. You can complain. You can talk about what somebody did to you and how they did it to you and how they didn't make time for you. But the only thing they're doing is showing you how you haven't made time for yourself. How you haven't loved you. If you really take a look at it and you evaluate that, and that's another thing we don't want to do. We don't want to hear those thoughts. We don't want to hear those thoughts. We don't want to do that work and do that healing work and hear what your higher self is really saying. Don't want to hear it, because if you hear it, that also means that you're going to have to make changes. And to be quite honest with you, most of us are mentally lazy. A lot of us also physically lazy. We don't want to put in the time and the energy it takes, because I gotta admit, it takes work. It takes time to get up early in the rising, to get up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. and start your day before sunrise, before that work time. If you got to be to work, if you got to get up at 6 o'clock to get to work, then that means that you need to be up at 4 o'clock to work on you before you go to work and go work on somebody's business. Because if you're not spending time on you before you go spend some time on someone else, you're avoiding yourself. And I know it takes work. That also means that you're going to have to go to bed earlier. And a lot of us don't want to do that because we want to be up scrolling, looking at TV, entertainment, more avoiding of self. We're living in a world today where now the term avoidant and narcissism are now like household common words. And the reason why we're faced with so much avoidance energy and narcissistic energy is because we're being mirrored on what we're not doing with ourselves, how we're avoiding ourselves, how we're not loving ourselves, how we're allowing ourselves to be used as puppets, to do somebody else's work, how we're literally robots. We up here worrying about AI. You're already AI. You're already artificial intelligence if you're not intelligent enough to use your own mind. If you're not educating yourself and applying, not just educating yourself, but applying the knowledge and the wisdom to your life, then you're already artificial intelligence. In order for you to be official intelligence, you got to be willing to stop, slow down, and take some real time to truly listen to yourself and do the work. You can journal until you've journaled out 59 million books. Okay? There's no more pages. But all that dumping you're doing, are you also applying that wisdom and that knowledge that you've learned over that time? Even if you're young, are you applying what you learned? If you don't like what you're seeing around you, your parents, how they treated you, or your family members, then are you taking notes of that so then you cannot be that? Because that's an education too. It's education to see what not to be like. we're shown that from two different ways: what we want to be like and what works, and what we don't want to be like and what does not work. You have to be careful about who you surrounding yourself with. A lot of us don't want to be alone. We just so antsy and itchy to be around a bunch of people. But sometimes everyone needs solitude. Everyone needs time to be completely by themselves, so there's no other thoughts and suggestions from other people. Sometimes you need to simply be with yourself, so all the thoughts and suggestions of what you need to do for you are just with you, and you're not getting a lot of the outside noise and the outside suggestions. If you're not willing to do that, then you're going to always be led by something outside of you, someone outside of you, situation outside of you. Always going to be running to hurry up to be accepted, heard by someone or something that probably could care less about you. So to my women out here and my men that has been dealing with people that has misjudged you, has not treated you the way you feel like you deserve to be treated, situations you're being in at work where you're being mistreated, overworked, or misused there, in families that also don't show you the proper love, respect, honor, or support. All of that is a mirror. Look at you. See where you need to support yourself. See where you need to put up the proper boundaries. See where you're misaligning with your true purpose. A lot of us haven't even aligned with our true purpose, the reason why we was even created to even come here. All of us have gifts and talents to give, but instead of us tapping into our true gifts, we're trying to copy and paste other people's gifts and other people's talents. Yeah, anybody can go learn anything and do anything, but that might not be your true calling, your true purpose, your true gift. In order for you to know your true calling and your true gift, you got to get still. You got to stop running from yourself. You got to get in nature like this. You got to get in nature, get your feet in the grass, bring you some nourishing foods, bring you some water, okay? Drink yourself plenty of water. I got coconut water, alkaline water, and some fresh food. Get in that sun, get these sun codes, bring your journals, and simply just connect. For my autoimmune warriors out there, the ones that's dealing with autoimmune disorders, whether that be lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, whether it's MS, whether it's IBS, whether it's Crohn's, and a host of myositis, whatever it is you're dealing with, you absolutely got to center yourself. You absolutely do. You know, doing the nutritional plan, I could read your blood, I could comb through everything about you with a fine-tooth comb and give you the plan on a platter. But if you're not centering yourself and doing the emotional, mental, and spiritual work, I don't care if you've already done it, because I've heard that from people, and I say to myself, if you already done it, then why aren't you eradicated? Why is not the autoimmune disorder been reversed or eradicated out of your blood? And that's because you're still holding on to the trauma. You still haven't slowed down and centered yourself. You still have not stopped and focused on you and your healing. Stop and focus on yourself. Love yourself. And be okay with the real healing. All right, until then, I'll talk to you next time. And make sure you like, subscribe, share, and comment. Comment. It helps the algorithm. The work that I do is very important, and more people need to hear about it and know about it. And when you like and you share, you subscribe and you comment, it really greatly helps the algorithm. Until then, check out the next video.